I pulled into my parents' driveway with a grocery store fruit basket. At the curb, my sister Stephanie slid out of her latest BMW. Trunk yawning open with presents wrapped in lacquered paper. She eyed my basket. "Still minimalist, Natalie?" I smiled and rang the bell. Inside, the house smelled of turkey and Mom's sweet potato casserole. Aunts, uncles, and cousins paused when I stepped in. "Natalie, you made it," my mother said, clearly surprised. "We weren't sure if your projects would keep you away." "Wouldn't miss it," I said, setting the basket beside Stephanie's tower of gifts. Uncle Gary, already 3 drinks ahead, lifted his glass. "Still doing that internet thing. What's it called?" "E-commerce," I said. "Right. My neighbor sells crocheted owls. Couple hundred a month. Nice hobby." I let the comment drift and took the wine my cousin handed me. The television murmured local news in the corner. Conversation snapped back to Stephanie, newly minted on a Forbes 40 under 40 list. Photos marched across her phone. My father beamed. Tessa, my brother Andrew's wife, leaned in. "Still in that little downtown studio?" "I like it," I said. "It's practical." At 6, we circled the holiday table. I drew the far-end seat between a teen glued to his phone and Gary's bourbon. "Turkey, Natalie," my mother called. "Or are you on one of those fasts?" Turkey's great. Stephanie held court about her new membership at a luxury resort in Aspen, while the rest of the family traded promotions and home upgrades. Every so often, eyes slid toward me, soft with pity. Andrew recalled the day I left my marketing job. Heads shook, tongues clucked, advice poured out. I kept eating steadily, letting the noise pass over like weather. On the TV, a teaser promised a special report at 9. Dessert moved us to the living room. The TV kept its low chatter while my mother passed slices of apple pie, and Stephanie praised her new Italian marble countertops like a rescue dog she'd personally trained. Advice fell like snow. Budgeting apps, certificate programs, real jobs. Uncle Gary preached the gospel of steady paychecks. Andrew called it an intervention. I sipped coffee and let their certainty try to rearrange me. "What do you even sell?" Tessa asked. "I've never seen your site." "There probably isn't one," Stephanie said. "Or it's a tiny shop with 3 listings." The TV cut to the station bumper. "Tonight," the anchor announced. An exclusive on one of the decade's most astonishing business stories. No one listened. Plates clinked. Stephanie rehearsed her performance review. My mother gathered forks. Then the name reached me before it reached them. Our feature spotlights Natalie Lynn, the founder and CEO of Aurelia Collective, whose reinvention of sustainable luxury has disrupted global retail. A plate clattered onto the coffee table. The screen bloomed with glass and steel headquarters. Aurelia Collective, Seattle. Then a photo of me in a dark suit at the World Economic Forum, shaking hands with a head of state. Captions laid out the spine. 6 years since I left a marketing job. Proprietary clean materials processes. Supplier networks in 18 countries. Contracts in Asia within 18 months. Expansion to Europe and North America by year 3. Now production on 4 continents. Over 40,000 employees. Revenue north of $7 billion. Gary's bourbon hovered midair. Andrew's phone was already out, screen bright with search results. Stephanie went very still. My father's voice scraped the room. "Natalie, is that you?" I set my cup down. "Yes." The room held its breath. "It's real," I said. My mother's hands shook around her plate. "You gave an interview to television," she whispered. "But not to us." "They asked about the work," I said. "You asked why I wasn't grown up yet." Phones glowed. Headlines, photos, numbers. Gary recovered first. "All this time," he said, half smiling, "and you let us lecture you." "You were committed to the lesson," I replied. The doorbell rang. A producer with a camera crew peered in, apologetic. "Just a quick home shot to humanize the story?" I looked at my family, faces split between pride and panic, and shook my head. "Not tonight." After the crew left, the quiet swelled. My father tried a toast. "To Natalie, we misjudged." "You were ashamed of me," I said. "That's different." Stephanie's eyes were raw. "You deceived us." "I left your assumptions alone," I said. "Ask one honest question, and I'll answer." Andrew lowered his phone. "Why keep the studio, the fruit basket, the old sedan?" "Because I like them," I said. "Money didn't change what fits." My mother's voice thinned. "We were cruel." "You were certain," I said. "Certainty makes room for cruelty." On the TV, a preview rolled. Factory floors bright as morning. I muted it. "I'm not funding kitchens or retirements," I said. "Not to buy forgiveness. I'll help where help isn't payment. School fees for the cousins if needed. Emergency care. Nothing that turns love into a ledger. If you want a relationship with me, start with respect." No one argued. The weather finally moved on. I stood. Coats rustled. "Merry Christmas," I said, and stepped into the cold air. In the car, I silenced the incoming calls and texted ops. "Segment landed. See you Monday." The clock slid toward 9. I drove home through the dark, steady as a breath, certain enough for all of us.